Hi everyone, it's Phil here from Ashland Leather. I'm super excited to show you a brand new leather from Horween Leather Company. Let me be the first to introduce you to a new product called Aspen. So Aspen is a full grain horsehide leather that is vegetable tanned. And what's really special about this is they've gone from scratch and developed a new veg tan formulation all the way from the ground up. So this is unlike anything that they have ever done in the past. And I think the result is simply stunning. So I've been wearing a fat Herby here in the acorn color of Aspen. Some of the characteristics that stand out to me are two things. Number one is the luster, and it might be hard to tell in the video here, but this leather has a really bright, shiny top. It almost has a mirror glaze to it that's very wet looking. And this luster is achieved by the finishers at Horween applying a special top coat. And this is made out of casein protein that gives it that nice wet, sort of shiny look. In addition to the luster on the Aspen, I'm also noticing an intense grain character, and that's because this leather is tumbled, so you will see a little bit of these pebble patterns develop, and that pebble pattern can be sometimes a little bit more fine, like on my fat Herby here, and other times it can be very, very coarse, like this Color 8 version here, and I'll give you a second to look at what I'm talking about. You can really see the pebble pattern in this guy. A couple more things that stand out to me immediately is the feel, and if you're familiar with a veg tan leather, this is a little bit dissimilar than a super traditional veg because it's much more supple than a normal veg. I noticed this leather has a little bit less stand and firmness to it when compared to a traditional veg. And also because this leather has been tumbled, it's slightly more stretchy than some of the other veg tan leathers you might come across. And as with most veg tan leathers, this has just a really nice round feel that's very full. And feel is something that I look for personally in leather, and maybe that's because my experience is mostly with Horween, and they're really well known for a great feeling leather. And that bright, shiny top coat gives it a little bit of a smooth feel as well. Now, the other thing to note is I was over at the Tannery, and they did have some other development, new leathers that are in the similar vein as this. They start with the same base tannage, and I think that tannage is called Horween White Tan. I think they're going to have to rebrand that name. I think it's just called HWT right now, but that is their new veg tan leather. And then they're finishing it in different ways. So the way I have here on the table, we've made some private stock items to feature this new leather. This is all the tumbled variation with that bright, shiny top coat. And there's another version, if I'm remembering correctly, it's called Telluride, which is much more firm and dense, like you would expect a typical veg to be. And that one, because it's not tumbled at all, it's much more flat for the grain appearance, but it also is much more smooth and a little bit more dense feeling. And then one last final note, the wallets that we're going to look at today, and I think all of the original development for this Aspen leather has been made on horse hides. So everything that we're going to look at today is made in horsehide, but I am understanding, if I'm understanding correctly from the Tannery, they're telling me that they're developing this leather for steer hides as well. So look forward to that coming a little bit later. One last final note on this new Aspen leather. I find it really interesting how thick these horsehides are. Normally horsehide is significantly thinner than most common leathers, most bovine leathers that you see. This Aspen leather, if you're a leather worker, you might want to know it's around 4 ounces thick. Typically horsehides are around 3 ounces or less. So this is really plumped up in thickness from that new tannage that Horween has. And I think it makes it a little bit more appropriate for footwear. And I say all this because if the past predicts the future, I've been pretty good at predicting leathers that will become hits in footwear later. For example, the Cypress was a leather that we were first to announce. And I sort of called it back then that you're going to start to see Cypress in a lot of footwear. And today we are, and it's a beautiful product for footwear. I think you're going to also start seeing this new Aspen leather all over the place in the coming years. So before we get into some of the private stock items and the different colors that I have available for these Aspen wallets, I wanted to show you a couple sound clips and some video from the Tannery. I spoke with Nick Horween and had him introduce this leather to all of us. Nick Horween, thanks for helping us out today. Can you give me a couple of the defining features for this new Aspen leather?
Aspen's a new development here at Horween. It's a veg tanned horsehide product, super grainy, shiny. It's going to age down really well. It's a tip of the hat to the old-fashioned way of making the Vachetta leather.
When compared to the Italian Vachetta, what's so special about your version?
Full veg, full grain, aniline finished, very grainy. No, it's really natural. I mean, it's it's simple, but it's not at the same time. It's one of those things that it's going to look one way when you get it, and it's just going to look better every day you use it.
All right, up first, I'm going to start with my favorite wallet style. This is the Fat Herby wallet. If you're not familiar with the Fat Herby, you should be, especially if you wear your wallet in your back pocket and you want something a little bit thin. The Fat Herby is unique because of the card layout on the inside. You're spreading out the contents of your wallet over more surface area, which makes it much more comfortable for a back pocket wallet. That's why I prefer it. I also find it to be incredibly easy to use because of the exterior bill slot here with the thumb notch, as well as these card slots in the inside. This is a brand new Fat Herby in the acorn color of Horween's new Aspen leather. Here's the one I've been wearing for a few weeks. I've noticed that the luster hasn't changed too much on the one I've worn for a few weeks. It does start off very bright and shiny. In fact, I'll go outside and take some videos of this guy in the sunlight because the luster is really dramatic. I'm not sure if it's only appreciable in person, but it's really, really glossy, very bright and shiny. I think you're going to love the luster and the feel on this new Aspen leather. So here's one that is brand new. The one that I've been wearing for a couple weeks, I've been wearing with some new raw denim. So you will start to see some of this denim and patina develop and accumulate in the wear spots of the wallet. And on a light color like this, those wear patterns will develop a little bit more quickly and more dramatically. Other than this acorn color, we do have two other colors I'd like to show you. The next one is navy, and it's a really beautiful navy shade. I was looking at the photos I took, and I was noticing it was kind of hard to capture just how nice this color is. So it's a darker blue shade, more of a straightforward navy than something like the royal blue cypress that we've offered in the past. So if you're a blue fan, but you want a subtle blue, I think this is going to be the one for you. I'm also noticing on this specific wallet just how intense and dramatic the figuring in the grain is. Again, that's because this is horsehide that has been tumbled. So you will get a little bit of this pebble pattern that I think looks really cool. And no two of these are alike. And the last color that we've got from Horween, this is color number 8. So color number 8 on a Fat Herby, it looks like we may have cut the mane into the center back spine of this wallet, which you might be able to see in the video here. It's just a little bit of a finer grain character. And I wanted to impress upon you just how new this leather is. So within the last 2 months is when this leather was finalized and completed. The measuring machine stamps I was looking at for these, it looks like we've received the leather in early August. So it's only been in our hands for about a month. So this is very fresh, very new. You're the first to see a new product from Horween. Let's move into another style here. This is the Bugs Moran in the acorn, a little bit more of a dramatic texture on this one. And I have two color number 8 Bugs Moran in this new Aspen leather. This is a really beautiful color that I noticed was also somewhat difficult to capture in photos. Definitely better in person. I'm not sure how I wasn't able to get the deep sort of dark cherry shades that are apparent on this wallet to translate into the photography, but it is a really nice color 8 shade. So if you're familiar with color 8 cordovan, it's going to give you the same effect as that. And if you look inside of here, I can see that there's a measuring machine stamp. I think I misspoke. So this is actually September 5th. So today is October 2nd. We've had this in our hands for less than a month. So that is how new this leather is. Within the last month, we've received it. And I think, again, they finalized it in August. And let's skim through some more pieces. We've got some Capones made in this brand new Aspen leather. It looks like this one is a little bit more flat and even than some of the more pebbly stuff that we saw earlier. This is a total stunner. I noticed this one actually translated nicely in photography, and I think that's because we've wrapped the leather around the spine, which is revealing a little bit of a lighter color and the undertones of this Aspen leather. So you can see that darker cherry shade on the spine with a little bit of a darker brown on the surface. And the last Capone, this one is the navy blue color. And then we thought it would be fun to bring back some snap wallets. So this is our machine gun jack, a very simple minimalist card holder with an asymmetrical shape, and also in the 3 colors. Now these are total stunners. We've got our small zip wallet, and I thought it'd be fun to introduce it in a couple different styles. So this is our prototype version of the small zip. On the inside, we've got Horsehide as well, but this is the black latigo tannage from Horween. It's a little bit thinner, like I mentioned, than the new Aspen leather, but we've got this prototype with 4 additional card slots on the exterior. So this one is in the acorn color. I also have one here in the color number 8 version, which is also very nice. Same black interior. And the last one in the navy, 2 card slots on the front, 2 on the back. And then we've got this nice zipper that's buttery smooth and the black latigo on the inside. A few more pieces to show you. Another acorn Aspen, but this is on our lucky card holder, our new design. This one has the skip stitch on the side, which allows you to put cards or cash between each of these larger sections a little bit more easily, but it does stay nicely closed. But those 2 card slots in the front, 2 in the back, those are good quick access slots. I have another lucky card holder. This one is in the color number 8 Aspen. And then we have a lucky wallet. This is like the card holder, but with the flap closure. The idea is that you put your cash on the inside here, your bills, that is, and then this flap folds closed. And because this is a veg tan leather, we expect it to mold and stay its shape just with normal use. So you don't have to fumble around with anything like a strap or a snap or a belly band to keep this guy closed. We have the 2 card slots on the inside and then 1 card slot on the back. And I have a couple more snap wallets. This is our Vic snap wallet. We originally designed this to be a coin pouch for a lot of our international customers. They were asking for this and they've been picking them up. So we made a few for you guys. Vic snap wallet in the acorn. And then we have another one here in the color 8 and the last one in navy. And it wouldn't be a private stock drop unless we had a couple hand stitch pieces. So I've got another lucky card holder here. This one is hand stitched with a lighter blue thread. We have a silver foil stamp on the front, that same skip stitch along the side, and then 2 card slots on the back. And the last piece of the day is also hand stitched on the navy aspen color. Incredible figuring and character on this piece of horsehide aspen. You can see the stitch is that same lighter blue shade, and then we have more of the blue aspen on the inside with our traditional card slots. So what do you guys think of this new aspen? I'm kind of hoping that I'm translating the appearance and luster of this leather appropriately through the internet over YouTube here. Because it is really, really nice. I'm so excited for you guys to get your hands on this. And it's a little bit sad to say that we only have a little bit of this leather. In fact, we made everything we could out of the hides that we've received, including the Herby that I've been wearing. But if you guys like this stuff, definitely let me know. Send us an email if you want to order one, if it's out of stock. All the stuff on the table that we just looked at on the private stock page. But if things are sold out, definitely let us know your interest by emailing us, or you can leave some comments and then I can order some more of this leather and maybe do some more special wallets and private stock out of the aspen. All right, until next time, hope you guys have a good one and take care.